Runway 28 clear for takeoff, runway 403 left.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all well. So, a little bit of disappointment. Obviously, no 747. But sure, aren't you about to get Ryanair to Leeds? That'll make up for it. Sandra, how do? Well, look at that, Adrian. Look at that. So, plan. We stay here probably till the Emirates. In that time, we'll have all the morning heavies heading back out, including 3 Deltas, the Hainan, a few Aer Lingus, United, and we should get then the Emirates triple to finish the day. So, morning to you all. Caroline, Robert, Sandy, Brian, Matt, Dar, May, and anyone I'm missing because the chat is moving when I'm looking at the camera. So I have set up today for both microphones. Obviously it's a little windy, so using big mic would pick up a lot of wind, but we will connect it for any of the big heavies to get the true sense of the noise. Helen, 12 months, 747. Hope you're feeling okay. Retro too. Can't forget him. Yeah. Morning, Retro. Yeah.
60317, max 62, minimum 12 knots from straight right through. Perfect.
Never take off straight right, Shamrock 60 takeoff.
Shamrock 158, taxi November 2, hold short coming to 8 right.
Taxi November 2, hold short 28 right, Shamrock 158.
Jake, morning to you. George. Now, remember, I'm on the roof of the van and it's a little windy, so don't expect perfection here. You should never expect it.
Shamrock 158, taxi line of runway 28 right. Delta 6 for Bravo, taxi November 2, hold short coming to 8 right.
Elaine, morning.
58, minimum 12 knots, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Takeoff 28 right, short 58.
7064 Bravo, 19 November 2, hold short runway 28.
Section over 2, hold short 23, 64 Bravo.
So Retro was off to Amsterdam. This I think is off to Heathrow. Paul Hart, morning to you. Parat, morning.
64 Bravo, 9 up runway right.
9 up, right, don't sit.
I wonder did Adrian's petition work. So Retro went to Madrid for maintenance and came back looking proper. Emperor, we have to stop meeting like this. Yep, I will if you do it. It's gone. So, obviously, we were meant to have our national Airlines 747 this morning. Word filtered out yesterday evening it was cancelled. Apparently the specific piece of equipment needed to unload the aircraft isn't available at Dublin, so it looks like when it does eventually arrive it's going to be Shannon. Whatever the cargo was, it needed to be unloaded via the nose, and that equipment isn't here in Dublin. Michael, morning to you. Graham. Just give me a second now, this is going to need to be adjusted slightly. Slightly too quick to move up and down. Matt says, mad how it takes off without engines. I agree. Wilson, probably our highest viewer currently, as I'm sitting on top of the 5th tallest tower in the world, unless someone is tuning in from a flight. Nice. Michael says, great day. That was probably it. So, Deborah, so the aircraft registration was supposed to be N663CA. I was watching it last night, flying from Anchorage to Chicago. but then went to bed. So I don't know where it went after Chicago, but I'm going to presume it went to. You would have been able to see the actual registration on ADSB, but the destinations are hidden on flight radar. So, like I was saying yesterday, National Airlines do an awful lot of work for the US Defence Forces, so they have an exemption on tracking. Their aircraft can't be tracked on radar, like flight radar or radar box or anything, but they're still required, obviously, to have ADSB active. So Crow's Nest says that 747 is currently moving around Shannon. I presume that's the registration of it, 663CA, silver and blue, National Airlines. You know what's going to happen? It's going to depart Shannon and it's going to fly over us at 30,000 odd feet just to rub it in, like add salt. So Deborah, it's just obviously the frame rate of the camera matching up with the props. Happens when it's sunny, when it's a little bit duller, the frame rate is lower on the camera, the shutter speed, sorry, not the frame rate, shutter speed. And I have it set to auto today to compensate for the brighter part of the sun when we turn this side. So look, we're not going to go crazy. We're going to go till just after 1. We'll get the Emirates departure, and it's simply because OCD wouldn't let me delete the stream I'd scheduled. Oh, sorry, Deborah. I did get an email off someone before that told me the way the camera does that is very unprofessional and I should stop it. I'm like, I'm stood on the roof of a van on the side of Dublin Airport. I'm not looking for Oscars, thanks. Now, keep in mind, it is a Tuesday, a little bit quieter today. While it's sunny, the breeze definitely isn't keeping it warm. It was only 6 degrees there when I was getting out of the van. Once again, questioning my life choices. Can we see the sock down this end? There's a sock over here somewhere, isn't there? Here's your sock. So, breeze mostly coming from behind me. You can fess up now, Emperor. It was you, wasn't it? Only messing. You'd be surprised how many people reach out with negative stuff just because they can. My reply usually is, if you want to stand there, you can. Sneaky Heine, where are you? Next one, BR. There's Hainan 330. Need to get the ruler out, sort that out. Sandra saying, don't be giving out. Told you not to go today. But I wanted to. I'd question your choice to wind up Sandra more than watch planes. Big John, I know, like, I don't take it seriously. I know some people do, but I don't. I'm here to enjoy myself and have a bit of fun, and that's all that matters, really. Emperor. Last time I saw so many harps in a row wasn't my wedding. Yeah. Just the only problem is they're not perfectly in a row, are they? Yeah. I doubt very much we'll be doing well picking up the inbounds. Where are you hiding? There. I know, look, I get it. Some people, obviously, some people are really into their photography and it triggers them when you don't do everything perfect. But the problem is you can't ever set up for every scenario. I could set the camera perfectly to have the blurred props every time. I know how to do it. But then in this kind of light, if I put it on manual, you're barely going to be able to see the planes because they'll be that white, they'll be blinding us all. But yeah, I get it. At the beginning it used to bother me because I thought I was doing something seriously wrong. But not anymore. Windy. Patricia, that's what I was saying, yeah, they're not lined up. Jennifer Rutherford, I'll be flying in from Dallas, Texas. But I think it applies to all walks of life. You're never going to please everyone. There's nothing you can do that everyone, no one's the same. So not everyone's going to be happy with the same thing. So of all the flights leaving this morning, which one would people most like to be on? The one that connects with the flight to Anchorage. I was watching Peter in Anchorage again last night, LA flights. He's extending his stay. He's going to stay next week as well, by the looks of it. He'll have been in Anchorage 3 weeks. Daily streams. It's class. I was watching last night, and Peter, in his 5-6 hour stream, got more 747s than we'll get in the next 2 years. It's just unreal. It actually would have been cool because it was planned to park down here if it arrived, and it was going to be unloading from the nose, so we would have seen the nose lifted and everything from this spot. I'm just making it worse for myself now, rubbing it in. Graham, he is the person I would least have expected to stand in Anchorage that long, because obviously being LA based, he really suffers with the cold. Mike Wild, morning to you. It'll be my second time in Ireland and my husband's first time. He's putting me in charge of driving because apparently I'm the better driver and trusts me to drive on the left. Do you know, I've never rented a car outside of countries that drive on the left. I don't know. Again, be afraid the OCD would get me. Ruby. Oh right, yeah, you're alive, aren't you? You might be mistaking me from someone else. This isn't looped. Crow's nest, they're fairly common in Shannon. They get one Turkish 747 a week, I believe. Savagery. No, just AI. If I could AI a 747 in today's stream, do you think I would have? Yeah, obviously Shannon does see a fair high volume of cargo arrivals, frequent 747s. Dubjet Emperor says doesn't like it either. Patricia saying I've done it and it's easy to go back to. Yeah. We were talking about hiring a car in Spain even. And do you know, I reckon I'd be fine on the bike, not a problem. But in the car, I just don't know. Mike, I find the best place to view 747s and A340s is Frankfurt, but not when Dubjet is streaming. Of course, of course. See, I did see the German Air Force arrival for Shannon, but I didn't think it was an A400. I thought it was something smaller. Make sure if you do, it's an automatic. Well, my own car, I bought an automatic car for the first time maybe 7 years ago, and every car I've had since is automatic. Who has time for changing gears? The van is manual actually, but yeah. You see, that's it, Richie. Your instincts is to do what you do here. Muscle memory and checking, you know, on your right shoulder, whereas over there you'd be checking your left shoulder and you'd keep looking the wrong way and realise there's going to be no cars coming from the footpath. Josephine says, Spain is a fun place. I've driven in the north, which is all good. I've heard the south is more intense. Well, obviously, my wife's father lives on the south coast in Almeria, and I can tell you, it's absolutely mental. Ryanair to Milan. Oh, there you go. So, obviously, being me, I have thought of streaming from Shannon. However, the arrivals are that far apart. We could be down there for the 747 or even that A400. It'll be the only thing we see. It's 2-hour gaps between flights some days, or most days. Because I'd love to go down and do it. If they had a heavy day of cargo arrivals, I would absolutely go down. Better off wait till the summer routes. Exactly, yeah. I have recce'd it, and there's a viewing spot there with parking, and dub roof on the van here will clear the fence line, so it's not going to stop me. But I just want it to be busier. Gil, welcome. Gil or Jill? Yeah, can't see. The last time I said Jill, I was told Gil, and now I've gone the opposite. Let's see what happens. John, absolutely no hassle whatsoever. Thank you. At least we know if we did buy a double-decker Ado, it would work, because I'm currently the same height as the upper floor there, as you just saw. AF Walker. That's why I didn't cancel when the 747 did. I looked at the weather forecast and saw it was actually going to be a decent enough morning up until around 1, 2 o'clock. So I said, why not? Is my passport up to date? Surcharge on dubs. Any kind of event now happening in the capital, whether it be concerts or St. Patrick's Day or anything like that, hotel pricing is going mental. The disruption here was Thursday. A lot of the ATRs couldn't land, a few go-arounds. Unfortunately, I was watching it all from the office instead of being out here. Tim, morning. So, it is sunny, it's nice. There's a bit of a chill to the wind. It's only 6 degrees, but yeah. We'll be alright. ERB, how do? Lazy not changing gears. It's just easier. It's smoother. It's more comfortable. Like I said, I get into the van now and I'm like, oh, clutch. First time, obviously, I bought an automatic, and then the first time I drove a manual again was about maybe a year later. Nearly put myself through the windscreen, clutching the brake pedal. But yeah, only the once. ATR off to Glasgow. On full battery power, as you can see.
Line up, way 285.
All zoomed in on 5. Yeah. Sorry. Completely lost it. We stick with it. See if we get the props to start turning. There we go. Battery turned off, engines on, into the turn. Yeah, you do, until you get used to it, you do find yourself looking for gears and stuff like that. But I have to tell you, I'd never go back. I zoomed in on the wrong ATR, didn't I? Yeah, Richie, so when it's sunny like this, obviously the shutter speed will be higher. I can drop it down, but then the glare when it's sunny like this on this camera, on the other cameras I have filters, it's grand, but on this camera there is no built-in filter.
Takeoff, right.
53. Well, you see, Michael, as well as that, a lot of hybrids, which are what people are going for, are automatic. Especially all the Toyotas hybrids, which were one of the bigger sellers. They're all automatic. EVs are all automatic, obviously, as well. So eventually, it's just going to be only automatic. I know the mild hybrids, which are basically battery assisted, they're not actually capable of running on battery. Some of them are manual. The Nissan, excuse me, the Nissan mild hybrids. But yeah. I drive in Texas, I'll be fine. 5 litre. What? Patricia says, my Fiesta is mild hybrid. My hybrid has a pedal assist. Yeah, Sarah Jane, I'd be the same as you. Particularly in relation to the driving, like being in the correct gear for the corner or whatever like that. It does take a bit of getting used to. Especially your gearing is highly important when you drive a motorbike in the wrong gear or go into the wrong gear. You can cause the back wheel to skip out or lock up. So yeah, gearing is important, absolutely. But you also, wrong gear, you may not have sufficient traction for the corner you're going into. Emperor says a lot of automatic cars are sold for disabled drivers. Yep. And you see there's a lot of companies in Ireland that specialise in conversions to have the controls all hand operated. It's all down to driving style as well. I can drive our hybrid and get 4.2 litres per 100 kilometres on the drive to work at the speed limits, driving it like it's a hybrid, knowing when to charge, knowing when to accelerate, whatever. My wife came from a Subaru Impreza. There's no such thing as a hybrid when she drives it. She didn't even know there was a battery. I love the fact that she doesn't watch, so I can get away with it. Until one of the children tell her later on. The cult of Ford Fiesta. I'll tell you, you get your hand on a little Fiesta ST or RS weapon, Kevin, I'm in the Subaru cult. Kevin, I had a Subaru Forester. Kind of wishing I kept it when I started talking about building a platform to stand on. But yeah. The wife had a 2.5 litre WRX. And it was sold when she was pregnant because she thought it was going to shake the child over, basically. I did eye up an ST3, so expensive. Mondeo ST, do you know what is amazing? The 2.5 litre or the 3 litre Mondeo Vignale. Yeah, now there you go. As you can see, Apollo in the centre of your picture. I'd hope. Hopefully it's not a Apollo replacement syndrome. There was a robin on the fence. Yep. Hang on. Let's see, can I get it? Sun is in my eyes, so above the sign there. Oh, it won't focus. CGI cows. Yep, they're not real. They were never here. Added them in. David, I seen the ads for them. If I'm honest with you, I think, what's it, the new Hyundai Inster is going to shake things up as well. Fully electric vehicle for 20 grand. Cows, get that robin out of the way. Still just sat there. My first car was a Ford Fiesta and I loved her. Drove her till she was falling apart. Still miss her. My first car was a Mitsubishi Lancer 1.5 GLX. And I traded that in and I got myself the MG ZR hatchback. Mandatory exhaust and sound system upgrade, of course. Steve, morning to you. So, Jennifer, I see the tariffs that are going on electric vehicles that are being imported is crazy over there. 100% tariffs. So obviously Tesla is big here, but the biggest market at the moment are EVs from China, whether it be BYD or the MGs are, where are they from? Yeah, probably China as well. The prices of them need to be sorted out. So there's the, what's it, the Ford Mach-E, whatever it is the electric Mustang here. 73 grand. What? Traded it in for a weapon. Yeah. That trend went on for a while. I had a bright yellow R33 Skyline and everything until I copped on. Bought a 2.5 litre petrol Lexus. My other half has an Evo 8 and it was awful. Too fast. What? I did have a Type R Integra for a while and Ruth hated it. She said it sounded like a van because there was no insulation in them, obviously. Weight saving or whatever. David, that's the big thing. My father has a fully electric Hyundai Kona and he won't take it on long trips because he's afraid of getting to a charging point that's not working or is blocked or whatever. So he uses the mother's Suzuki Hybrid for any long drives. Steve, Ruth had a JCW Cooper S for a while. Great yoke, but so prone to problems, it's unreal. Ended up needing the full engine decoked to the tune of $1,500. Lufty A320 Neo off to Munich. Aston Martin Vanquish. Adrian, a friend of mine brought in, I think it was a Mark II Escort RS from the UK. Absolute, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Cosworth, there you go, Cosworth, that's what it was, Escort Cosworth. If the car was coked up, it wasn't run hard enough. Apparently it was a fault on a specific generation of the new version Cooper S or whatever it was. So much so that a company up in Newry, solely established to help decoke them, so we didn't, like I said, we didn't have that much disruption Friday. Ours was more Thursday. And obviously we had a little bit disruption there on Sunday, just gone, with a lot of aircraft in holds. Austin Allegro. Steve, I'm in the same boat as you. I was onto my management company. So I'm looking at, there's a system you can get called the E-Gully. It's basically, you cut a groove out of the path, the cable runs through it, but then it's not a tripping hazard or anything like that. So we'll see whether they're going to let me or not. Because I was saying it to Ruth, obviously I sold my Lexus, we had two. I sold mine to get this van last year, and I have the bike as well, but I kind of want an automatic van. So if I was going to do it, I was thinking about getting a second-hand electric van, since the only place this van currently goes is from the house to the airport and back. VW Beetle, the original design, nice. The relaunch never really picked up, did it? Ryanair, London Gatwick. Poor KC will be going mad again. There's a load of car talk in the chat and he's not here. Datsun 120Y, 2-ton, mostly held together with rivets. Speed tape.
57 Victor Foxtrot, surface wing 2603, 14 knots, runway.
Turkish, back to Istanbul.
Cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28, Turkish, Victor Foxtrot, thank you, bye-bye.
Fine.
And obviously, in negotiations, I've told Ruth, you know, the new Celica Subaru crossover. I've said like, oh, but like, I'll sell your car and get you one of them, like, you know. Yeah, not gonna happen. Anyway.
Delta 45 taxi, November 2 line from my 28 right.
November 2, line up and wait, Delta 28 right, Delta 45.
Right. Shall we do the microphone switch for the Delta? Go big mic. Hopefully it works. Big mic on. Daniel, how do? DL45 back to JFK. Oh, I can hear the radar beep in my ears. We'll turn this one off now after this goes by. Don't worry. Wrong airline. This is Delta. Normal service has resumed. Ryanair to Bristol next, FR 504. Yeah, it's one of the benefits of this side. The takeoff noise is awesome. Delightful Delta departure. In America we're seeing too many EVs, the battery's on fire. We're seeing now the EV bikes are having fires as well. Do you know, I'm a bike driver I have been since I was 16, and it boggles me how, well no, I suppose you'd adapt, but the instant acceleration provided by an electric vehicle, like any kind of wet or questionable slippy surface on an EV bike has to be lethal. Like motorbikes during the winter or in the rain in particular, especially if it's any form of a decent size of a bike, they suffer very badly with traction anyway.
Taxi via November to Kuwait Ryanair, that's sustainable, but you're ready for departure. November 2, hold short, runway 28 right. November 2, hold short, 28 right, control 5 Delta Whiskey. Uniform wind 260 degrees 1, 2 knots, max 18, runway 28 right to takeoff. Super takeoff, runway 5
I don't think electric vehicles, as we currently see them, will be a permanent, sustainable solution, because obviously you still have to charge them, and the solar network isn't there to make charging them green or clean yet.
Right, 45 Delta Whiskey.
Well, I've always said it, because obviously in the event of a traffic accident, are EVs safer, or even the proposed hydrogen powered cars? Like, yeah, do I want to be sitting on hydrogen in a collision? Probably not. This is British Airways, back to Heathrow. I was looking last night, and I've decided to do a stream from Europe somewhere, and I'm debating the panorama terrace in Amsterdam or Frankfurt viewing platform. Answers on a postcard. Now remember, the panorama terrace in Amsterdam, I don't know whether it has full views or whether it's restricted. I've never been on it. The last time I was in AMS, it was closed. Yeah, in Frankfurt you'll get 7.4s and obviously 340s. Schiphol sounded good until you said Frankfurt. Here's our learner bus again. Shane says Frankfurt as well.
Takeoff to Aviation.
Aer Lingus to Lyon.
On the 2 hotel runway 28 right, there is 18 contact.
Schiphol has lots of 747s also. Silkway, KLM, Singapore, Atlas. But again, I don't know whether you're going to see them. If they land on the Polder Barn, you're not going to see them from the panorama terrace, I believe. Iberia off to Madrid, I think. Josephine says Schiphol is fun, but they change runways frequently. Yeah, I watch AMS live, and obviously the runway changes there. Now he's always on the Polder Barn most of the time, but the runway changes there are fairly frequent, all right. Yeah, Tim, I know a family member got a price on replacing the battery in a Nissan Leaf EV, and it was 10 grand. Patricia is neutral. Obviously, wobbly stick stuck in N. Sorry, Emirates just landed. Apologies. Yeah, that's it, Sandra. It was almost the same price as the car itself. So, yeah, Tesla will be way more than that. Ruby, planes are mad. That thing is like full of people and it's blasting off into the sky. Josephine, there's a lot. I obviously, if you're ever planning on going to an airport and you want to know about the Planespotting situation, there's a website called Spotter's Guide. It used to be Spotter's Wiki, but that wasn't working. So Spotter's Guide. And there's a lot of recent comments in relation to spotters, especially where he streams from, being moved. They don't want you in the grass area there beside the Polder Barn. They want you the other side of the cycle track where the benches are. Almost got knocked down by an electric vehicle. I was in shock for a week. Well, wasn't there a proposal there for a while that they wanted electric cars to make an intermittent beeping noise every couple of seconds when below a certain speed, so people would hear them coming. But yeah, no, I watched Boyd, or Boy, should I say. But yeah, the spotter's guide, if you go to that and you pick your airport that you're going to, it gives you the locations, it gives you how to get to them, it tells you what hotels are nearby, but then it allows people to put up their comments about each location. And the most recent comments in relation to Amsterdam are that people are being moved from the grass area of the Polder Barn. Not good for the likes of us with one good ear. Do you know what you need to do, Elaine? They need to stick a Coke bottle between the mudguard and one of the wheels, and you'll hear it coming then, like we used to do on the bikes. Absolutely shredding your back tyre when you were younger, cycling around with a Coke bottle jammed between the frame and the wheel to make a motorbike noise. Other soft drinks are available, of course. That's not me moving the camera, that's the breeze doing that. Dreamweaver, how do? Kenny Mac, welcome. Well, like I said, Ryan, we'd need to move away from our current forms of electricity generation in order for it to be sustainable. There's no point having an EV car being charged by the power coming from a coal or a gas powered electricity station. Do you get me? It doesn't make sense. I see a lot of people now, especially those that have solar panels, getting bigger batteries installed so that they can charge their EV at night time off the battery storage from the house. Now that makes sense because that's solar. Used to squash a juice carton and stick it between the bike spokes. Class sound. Or do you remember the things, they were like little circles that went round the spokes and they spun and made a noise as you cycled.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure 90% of the chat had a Kellogg's reflector on their push bike. SAS pushing back. Kenny Mac and Dreamweaver both use playing cards, sadly worth many dollars now. Yeah. I do be terrified looking back sometimes. Some of the things that I, excuse me, sorry, that I had as a child that I didn't mind that would be worth a fortune now. A lot of collectible mask toys, or I don't know whether anyone remembers Manta Force. There you go. Simon, it obviously stuck with me because I still wear G-Shock today. Munich Airport might be worth considering, as they have a visitor park with a viewing mound and static aircraft, including a Connie. I believe there is a Fokker, F-O-K-K-E-R, on the Panorama Terrace in Amsterdam now as well. Yeah, Ryan, it is a personal choice, but I think obviously housing demand over the last 10 years is high density housing with very limited driveways. I'm like that, I don't have a driveway. So the bike is ground anchored outside the house. But yeah, a lot of people, I said this to the management company when I was talking to them. I was like, how do you expect people to own a car in 10 years time when petrol and diesel are being banned and we're not allowed to put in charging points? There's an F100 on the terrace at AMS and you're allowed onto it. Don't you be making my decisions for me, Brian. You is purring. Sound of my voice again, telling you. Helen's choice. Big microphone again? Yay? Nay? I do have a lovely soothing voice. Yep. Of course, for that beast. So soothing that I put Patricia asleep the other day. Yep. Welcome to Dubjet. Austrian Wolf, how do? Welcome along. The last we heard from Patricia was, right folks, gonna go, have things to do. Then we hear from Helen. I had to go in and lower down her laptop. She fell asleep listening to you. I was like, eh. Must have been real interesting me. John Hennessy says, I'll be on 105 in June. A330 heading to JFK. It's either your voice or the plane and ATC that is great for sleep. I don't mean that in a boring way. Yeah, sure. I asked my parents, did they used to drive me around in the car to get me to go to sleep? Because anytime I'm watching motorsports, if I'm anyway tired, the noise of the motorsports knocks me out. All good, all good. Sun on the roof of the van in the wind. All good. Right. A great voice for a radio. Why, thank you.
Okay, so on the right of you there, and anywhere else?
Stop. So, bigger microphone for the Monster. EI 105 A330 JFK bound. That noise we're hearing there is the wireless microphone being too close. It'll be gone in a second once I switch back. I do have the wind filter on. Hopefully it's working. Won't matter in a second, you won't be able to hear the wind. Stand by. Full length by the looks. British Airways back to London City. It's okay, Ruby. I saw the comment. I was just too upset to reply. Sandy, yep. Hence why we have an odd socks emoji on the channel. Frequent occurrence for Aer Lingus. Michelle, that's the one that was meant to come here. They didn't have the ground handling equipment for it, so they sent it to Shannon instead. climb rate. So apparently one of the comments I was reading, Ruby, they needed a high loader capable of holding 50 tons to unload via the nose of that 747, and there's no such device here in Dublin, unfortunately. Ryanair to Amsterdam next. So if it was just normal cargo unloading, it would have been fine, but because it's nose unloading on that 747, they don't have the lift capable of doing it. Now that's just what I read. I will not, I'm only quoting, I'm not asserting, so to speak. Think they'd have borrowed Shannon's. Yeah, just send it up like. Sandra taking it very seriously. SAS heading back to Stockholm, 320 Neo. Yeah, but the fact that it appeared on the schedule and everything is really, yeah. Like, surely whoever was booking that in would have known the equipment needed. I don't know. Either way, the wait for, as I said last night, the wait for a 747 at Dublin goes on. The bird went over the front of that there. Second Delta pushing back. In the meantime, hi Nan. Sandra, calling me Roxy, still trying to get me back for yesterday. Austrian, from what I read, previous flight yesterday possibly was cancelled, so they've used the 3:30 today to accommodate yesterday's passengers as well. Yeah. Just being hurtful. The trend developing here.
Taxi November 1 down Papa November.
Right, Ruby's choice this time. Big microphone or not? What you saw fly by the camera there was a Queen Bee, and it's now buzzing my head. Go away. Very early for them, isn't it? So Arthur, we discussed this previously. ICAO regulations state when there isn't a minimum distance met between the two parallel runways, departing aircraft are required to take an immediate 30-degree turn to the right in order to avoid the situation of a missed approach on the other side. Yeah, read that again. Okay. John, the Air France cargo, sorry, the breeze getting bad, is currently a 777 every Saturday. I stand by what I said. Matt, I'm the same. In the onboard footage I posted from the 330, that immediate turn is kind of cool. That microphone kind of gives you an idea of just how much wind we're blocking out with the smaller microphones. Yeah, there's a windshield on it, and I have the low cut filter activated.
Obviously, when I'm elevated like this on the roof of the van, I'm more exposed to the wind.
Yes, I'm a child. When it gets really boring, I might start making shadow puppets just to keep us all entertained, you know. United 752 pushing back. Haps, how do? Where are you? There. S92 Sikorsky Helibus. Susanna, welcome. I believe there was another article in the media 2 days ago in relation to that handover of rescue responsibilities from CHC to Bristow. Some crews still not certified for night operations, meaning the new crowd can't take over fully. Eventually we'll see that Sikorsky leave Dublin and the new Augusta Westlands will be based in Weston. Floria, welcome. DL 155 to Boston, 767-300. Austrian Wolf, we get the Bray air show every August. There are a few other smaller ones, obviously. Bigger microphone for the 7.6 noise. Norman in Carlow, I presume. How do? That noise you're hearing. Watch. We've timed it. It's that one. Beep. Zapping me every 4 seconds. I never wanted my eardrums to work again after that. And yeah. Bring on. The summer days where it's that little bit calmer here and we can use that microphone the whole time, because these smaller ones really don't do the noise from this spot any justice. .767 with wing that's bigger than a Cessna wing. Yep, 13 foot, I think. Long old drive around the perimeter road in one of them. Oh, look at you. Oh, two ears. Once they're not aiming for me, I don't mind. LRB on the move, okay. Might find some really interesting cows to watch for a while. Just think, you don't have to break your neck to see LRB today. Yeah, yeah. Is it even the same, Patricia, if I'm not risking myself on the pillars to fall over? No, I don't know. Prop heading back into the nest. I am doing my best to use my substantial frame to block the wind. Sorry. Two hawks together must be naughty season. Zimmerman, the CISC building is the site that's to my right here. It's a building site. They were obviously involved in North Runway construction. They'll probably be involved in the expansion of the... So this is the remote parking stand here, where you see those aircraft line up. The planning that DAA have lodged, remote parking will be extended to this field here. So I imagine, considering CISC haven't moved out, they're going to be involved in that. Rehome the dumb cows. I imagine McDonald's will give them a loving home. Unfortunately, I should add. Zimmerman, no, it's going to be apron expansion, so it's going to be more remote parking for aircraft. Landlord would find it strange, but I could probably squeeze 2 or 3 in. So EI 133 going to be heading to Boston. EI LRB. Have to find something to call this that'll make Helen hate it and not want to see it. Working on it though, working on it. Ado. Done by a bus. Oh, sorry. Right. Nearly let go. That wasn't on purpose, I promise. I think he just wants to be Lucille. No, no. You can keep your domestic violence. Thank you. Look, Shannon, Crow's Nest, you're just doing this to upset me. They're getting the C40 Clipper that was rumoured to be coming here last week as well. Someone did say, what time are you leaving to get to Shannon for? And I was like, yeah. Graham says that overhead was Air Canada. Kieran, morning. Dreamweaver, laughing, but secretly gonna kill me for the Canada comment. That's 3 people I'm riling today. Button pusher supreme. So, United 7-5, going to be lining up, heading back to IAD, Washington. Need the mic up for the... No, Helen, you already got your show. Someone else's turn. April is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to go into hiding. Dubjet relocation program. Graham breaking into a Lady Gaga song.
minimum 11.
Peter, out out. Yeah, less wind noise. Where's the Lufty?
Lufthansa 979, thank you. Switch to 8315. Runway 8 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 8 right, takeoff. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Lufthansa heading to Frankfurt, 321. I don't see a 340 though. Draw the direction. Alright, okay. Possibly too far for me. I'll have a look now. I'd say it's gone at this stage. Lufty maybe behind cloud cover over the north, so no joy for the 340. Oh, it's still over the Irish Sea. Alright. Let me see. See what I done. Well, the camera's good, but I don't think it's that good. Look who it is. He's ready for his close-up. Mike, welcome. Cows have moved. Done that on the internet forever. Ho, 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 ho. Hang on. What did you say? 340? Cyril, out. Ruby, 16 months. Does it seem that long ago that you came into the stream one day and went, oh my God, I didn't realise there was someone streaming from Dublin?
Runway 1 November, Mike, just request 280, 317 runway 28 right, clear for takeoff. November, Mike, Roger, takeoff runway 28 right, one rolling.
Two right, and we'll go Runway 1 November.
Graham, 21 months. Longest member in the club. Yourself and Andrew. I've made it feel like a long time, Ruby says. Oh look, climbing the hill to get a better view. They want to see the planes too. Ryanair heading to Stansted.
Ryanair 1 November, Mike, rolling.
Cyril hopefully coming in on his LX A220 in a couple of weeks. Nice. Just make sure it's before the summer schedule, or they'll go back to the 320 like they did last year, remember? EasyJet 2, 2 months. Thank you very much. Helen will be along to bing your bong. Double bing bong. Ooh. So our Delta A330 to Atlanta on taxi. Nice. Delta running their 3 again now. JFK, Boston and Atlanta daily. Last year the A350 covered the Atlanta route. At the moment it's a 330, but I wonder will that change? They are actually watching, look. Looking over the fence. Sylvia, how do? Adrian, as always, man, thank you. Peter, looking forward to my flight in Dublin in March as well, just a regular 320 Aer Lingus. However, will you get odd socks or not? So there's still a little lottery. Susanna, same to you. Thank you for being here. Breeze picking up again. So obviously we've done Sunday, Monday and Tuesday now, 3 days in a row. So we see what the story is. I think we'll aim, unless there's something important or cool coming in, we'll aim for Friday, the next busiest day of the week. KC, Brian, welcome. We mentioned you earlier, we were talking about cars again and you missed it. Mark, I'm not gone just yet, but yeah, we'll chat to you Friday. We aim to finish today on the Emirates 777 departure just after 1. David, welcome. John Brett, big hello from a small village, Borrisalee in Tipperary. The Ryanair ahead of the Delta is off to Lisbon. Nice. Brian O'Neill heading to Japan. We'll get an A350 and a Dreamliner. Talk about, yeah, travelling in style. You see the announcement yesterday by Airbus that they're delaying the A350 freighter by another year due to supply chain issues. The manufacturers can't get the raw materials and specific parts they need quick enough to keep churning out aircraft.
Delta 177, depart from November 2.
We can depart from November 2, Delta 177.
177 taxi, November 2, line of Boeing 28 right.
The Delta A330 is going to go from November 2 by the sounds of things. Not full length, sorry. The breeze catches the cows are running around. The breeze catches the rain cover on the camera when I'm pointed that direction. David, today there is, so the low days of the winter schedule have about 460 movements. The higher days will be over 600. And then summer we could see 750, 800 a day, depending on the day of the week. Austrian Wolf, yep, North Runway on flight radar is still a construction zone. I don't know whether Google Maps has updated actually. Oh, sorry, Big Mike being requested. Graham, chat to you later. There you go, back to normal. Again, Graham, thank you. I'm going to chat to you soon. cows and planes. The reason we're all here. Caroline, how do? For anyone wondering, that's Apollo. From the first day we saw, said looks like husky markings nearly. Got the nickname Apollo. Well, look at Ruby go. Could an independent party translate that for me, just so we know Ruby hasn't threatened them? Michael Anderson says, Dub cow. Kenny Mack, Chat Friday. This one is me over here all the way doing its own thing. Another episode of Spring Watch. Sure you did, Ruby, sure you did. Add your name to the list of people I've annoyed today, I suppose. Sorry, I hit the camera. I'm seriously looking at getting mauled in the worst possible way. I didn't think you could bring it higher, Sandra, but every time you do. Oh. And then along came The Delta plane that took off, where to go? It's going to Atlanta. Look at the run. Yeah. 155 went to Atlanta, Caroline. Earlier we had the JFK and Boston Deltas as well. I nearly said it, Dave. I nearly said it. They were both 7.6s. The only time they use my favourite emoji, the oof emoji, is against me. Huh? Matt, I've told this story before. My aunt tormented my mother. When I was growing up, she told me they were called Tricky Dickies. So I grew up calling cows, oh look, Tricky Dickies. And my mum would lose her mind. Cows and airplane stream, simply a dream. Moo cows and planes. You have to have something to keep you busy. They got the boarding call. They decided to have a lie down. So on pushback, we have an A330 to San Fran. Happy to be out in the field and sun, and so are the cows. Oh. John, don't have a clue, to be honest with you. XLT keeps pinging and then vanishing. It's playing the long game. Today's Emirates 777 registration is A6ENT Agent. I like it. Agent, thank you for being here. LRC is pushing back. Agent has to go to a meeting, may not make it back. Hala, welcome back. And Dara, hi to you. So, waiting on 3:30 to push back, start taxiing. Don't mess around. Mods are only too happy to ask you. Ryanair pushing back. Okay, how are you? So we are expecting the rain to start possibly in the next half hour, 45 minutes. So we kind of want the Emirates to be on time today. Hopefully it doesn't though. The terminal area forecast and Met Éireann are at odds. Met Éireann saying no rain till 3, but the terminal area forecast saying 1 o'clock. EI204 now on your screens, heading to Manchester.
Target Aviation 20,
So Austrian Wolf, it's just remote stands. So those stands there, they're the remote stands at the moment, and they're just going to be extended down this way. They're only used for parking. They're very ever rarely used. They're used for cargo loading and unloading, or long-term parking, like overnight kind of stuff. When it's really busy here, that remote stand in front of you will be full, and they'll use the west apron for some overflow over by the cargo aircraft. So I think the plan for them is just to have it all in one area down this side. Farmer, it was cancelled. It went into Shannon. Specific piece of ground handling equipment required, not available at Dublin, so it went to Shannon. So unfortunately the wait for a 747 in Dublin carries on. It'll be almost a year now. So I think we had the KLM Martinair in March or April of last year. So it's almost a year since we had a 74. Aircan, welcome back. So our A330 GCF on the way for San Fran. Ryanair, SAS, Aer Lingus, Ryanair. EI117 going to be heading to Washington. Ryanair to Far Away and SAS Copenhagen. And it looks like this is Aer Lingus to Marrakesh. Aircan says was minus 5 degrees Celsius there this morning. It's not warm here now today either. It did, while the sun was out, it was nice. It was probably 8 or 9 degrees. I think it's back down to maybe 5 or 6 again now.
Woman has a taxi November 1 line from 828 right.
November 1 line, runway 3 right.
Right. There is the look of rain cloud coming down behind me. I will have to take down the big microphone if it starts raining. It's not waterproof, so there won't be any switching between the two.
Common 708, are you ready?
Departure
708, taxi November 2 line from 828 right.
line for 1 right, Cameron 708.
Common 1 Tango, the wheel fast.
Marrakesh intersect ahead of the 321 Neo.
Taxi, holding point November 2, runway 28 right in all short rank, Ryanair 7 Alpha Hotel.
Right, Washington next for the 321 Neo. Going to try take this down.
Tango, the wind 70317, maximum 311 knots, runway 28 right, takeoff.
Yes, you're hearing zips. It's the bag. Don't worry.
Trust you, Sandra. Trust you. The banana bag, exactly. Too cold for banana hammocks here today, I tell you. So Ryanair to far away, while SFO lines up November 1. Poor Helen has put the phone down and has gone to get the bleach, but it doesn't work on mental images. Austrian, did I see yesterday there was some comment PFO is the furthest destination for Ryanair from Dublin? Peter, it was cancelled yesterday evening. It went to Shannon instead. Elaine, thank you. We'll chat to you later on. Tony, how do? So just to recap for those that weren't here, we were due the 747 National Airlines N66 3A, and it was discovered yesterday they needed a 50-ton capable high loader to unload from the nose of the aircraft, and there's none in Dublin, so it went to Shannon instead. Maria, welcome back. So we have a Swiss Wookiee on pushback next by the looks of things. Hello.
contact ground, hold sharp straight right off, on 70, full straight, thank you.
The Iceland Air A321neo just landed. Ahead of that 3:30 from Seattle that we were watching. So that's quite delayed. That should have been in around 10 o'clock this morning. And today's Logan Air is an Embraer E145. That's just landed as well. So folks, we're just waiting for the Emirates triple to make an appearance. Anytime probably in the next 20 minutes or so, and then we'll call it a day. Again, gonna aim for Friday, because Friday is busy here. We'll see what the weather's like, which direction we'll cover. But obviously, in the meantime, if we're going to get out and cool, I'll do my best to be here. Shannon got spoiled today. The National 747 we were meant to get, an Atlas A400 German Air Force, and one of the US Air Force C-40 Clippers. So we lose out completely today. We did have for a little while the A400s coming in here in late 2023, or was it maybe? Yeah, it was 2023. They were coming in here on training flights, apparently crosswind training, but they look like they're using Shannon more so nowadays. The first 321neo delivered to Iceland Air right there. Look what I done again. Mandatory. I don't make the rules. Big cannon on the back of it. Weather in Iceland is relatively okay. I'm constantly watching live feeds, waiting for the next eruption. Will showed me a great live feed of the one in Hawaii at night time. That looks class. Flowing lava fields. TFIAA is the registration. So, most of you know, Iceland Air planned on phasing out their 757s in October 24. But obviously with delays in deliveries with them 321 Neos, and I think they have XLR on order as well. Some of the 757s have been given a reprieve. One of them is now operating in its unique, was it the one that I've used for today's thumbnail? I can't remember whether that's the 100 years or the 80 years livery, but that's now operating, I believe, in the Middle East in those colours. Hasn't been repainted yet. Peter, Amanda, gotta leave for work. My tower duties won't wait. Have a great day. Thanks for the stream. Peter, thank you. Matt, Adrian will fight you for that cottage. But Iceland Air have said that they will transfer across their special liveries to the Neos and the XLRs. So will we see an Aurora XLR? John Michael, welcome. Hazel, hello, I am new here from Yorkshire in the UK, Yorkshire. Welcome, Hazel. Matt, I would imagine so. There is a collection of photographs, historical photographs from when the airport was just the old building, literally. That's it there. And it's called the North Terminal. But yeah, there's a famous picture of a woman hanging her washing out with a 747 taxiing by. Yeah, Gilly, it's amazing the stuff they did. The things humanity have to do to cope with the environmental factors around us is mental, isn't it? Ryan Gorman, hello from Loud. Brilliant live stream. Thanks, Ryan. What am I hearing? The loud reversals on the other side. Helen, thank you. I think we can actually see the Logan Air hiding there. There's an Air Baltic. There's the Logan Air tail in the background. Today's Embraer. Air Baltic Wookiee on the way. Helen, someone said it had been in storage. Gilly, you see that in other parts of the world as well, where after the likes of earthquakes, they have motorways rebuilt in a matter of days, and you're like, it takes 6 years to make one road in this country. Ryan, can you give a shout out to my dad, Tommy, who's always watching along? Tommy, how do? Oh, literally what you said. They built roads in days. It's ridiculous, Joe. Is Ronnie Whelan still alive? The footballer? I believe so.
For the 1 taxi November 2 line from Runway 28. This 401 taxi November 2 line from Runway 28.
So, Air Baltic operating for Swiss again. We discussed that last week, where Air Baltic are actually cancelling a lot of their own scheduled routes and leasing out their aircraft to high volume routes and operators that require them. Crow's Nest, you never know, they might have the retro done by the end of the century. Isn't it mad? I was saying that we were in the airport the other day, and someone I work with, I was telling them about Area 14, and they were like, what? I said, this is meant to be a train station. We're standing in Area 14. This is meant to be a train platform. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, when the airport was built, they actually built an area for trains to arrive, and because it hasn't been used, it was converted into a check-in area. No bother, Ryan. Yeah, Austrian Wolf, if you Google Area 14 Dublin Airport, you'll see it. If you recall, when Ryanair were upgrading their check-in area upstairs last year, they moved down to Area 14 for a while. But if you have it, there's a recent news article there about Area 14, that was put in the basement to be the arrival platform for any rail or metro link for Dublin Airport when Terminal 1 was built, and it's still not there. Ryanair off to Beauvais. Birds. Aircan, chat to you later. As always, thank you for being here. Hazel, a few people have asked, so I am a huge fan of the A350. However, ATRs and A220s as well. Patricia, definitely in the wrong place today for a 747. Not that I'm bitter. So, rain clouds are moving in. Ruby, did you see the DC-6 on LA flights? Sandra, yeah, MD-11. An old Trijet. Ringmaster A340. You've just found yourself on Ruby's good list. A220, 21 or 330. Modern favourite would be 340, 600, 75, the DC-10. It was Aer Lingus had an MD-11 for a while, didn't they? Sandy Fields. The bigger the better. Yeah, but what about the planes? Ryanair, stop there. Icelandairs, Rob your gate. Painfully, I stick with EU Spotters Professional. Yeah. If you like replays, that's where you go. Brian, as always, a wealth of info. EI had an MD-11 in the 90s. It was leased from World Airways with US cockpit crew, and EI cabin crew. Pack up. Afternoon. So we are nearly in the wind up here. We're waiting for Emirates. Which will come first, the rain or Emirates? Helen, I flew on Monarch's DC-10 back in 2001.
Ryanair 6 Whiskey, Kilo Taxi November 2 line up runway 28 right.
November 2 line up runway 28 right.
Charlotte, I've still never flown on a plane before. Charlotte, I presume your trip is still on, is it? XLT finally moving. The MD-11 was based at Shannon, but did occasionally fly out of Dublin. There you go. I think I've answered my own question. The rain is going to win. Ryanair to Birmingham. Gilly P was once on a plane piloted by Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, claim to fame. Charlotte, sadly not. The event. Oh no. Charlotte, book yourself an ATR flight. Jump in the deep end. Bring Dean with you. You'll be so busy laughing at him screaming, you won't know you're on a plane. Very rarely, only when the south side is out of action for whatever reason, whether it be maintenance or something happening. I saw the DC-10 on LA live stream last night. Yeah. Were you watching LA flights, Hazel, or were you watching LAX? So Peter's in Anchorage. Hazel, I was on a plane in 1996 and met the Hoff. Yeah. Yeah, or even do Dublin to Donegal. Donegal was voted one of the most scenic airports to land in. My ex lives in Donegal. Definitely won't be paying to go anywhere near him. Yeah.
No, from my 28 right. Binary 2S, Lima liner from my 28 right.
John says, I hate flying, but fly to New York every year and pick the same window seat every time. There's a lot of people like that, John. Some people pick the same seat number every time. Don't know what's happening with the ATC. Suddenly very bad quality. Now what I can do, because it's underneath me in the van. I suppose, John, if you pick the same seat back and forth and you get the same aircraft, your groove might still be there by the time you're returning. It's like your armchair. Emirates is pigging. Okay. Thank you, Patricia. As you can see, Ryanair flying into the grey that's coming towards me. We can hope. We can hope. We'll dodge it.
Summer 1 Echo November, taxi November 2, line up on my 28 right.
David says, if I don't have a window seat, I would just as soon stay home. Yeah, I'm kind of like that myself. Although, when the kids were little, they always wanted the window, and I ended up in the aisle. Now that they're old enough, they just sit on the outside. They don't even have to sit in the same row as me, once I have my window. My first flight was on Aer Lingus 707, St. Patrick O'Toole, Chicago to Montreal, Shannon, 1971. Wow. So that's why the seat was wore out on EIDUZ. Gotta have your groove. 33 A or K. Yep. They're the two side seats, so the Aer Lingus 330s are 242, I think, aren't they?
Hey, firm, Sherlock 10 Mike. November 1 and hold short 28 right. Sherlock 10 Mike.
EI 127 off to Toronto. Trevor, about the Finnair, thousands of complaints. I think with airlines trying to save money as much as they can, obviously when it's not related to safety, I think we'll see a clampdown. Like, Aer Lingus is awesome. You book a standard seat with Aer Lingus, you're allowed a 10 kg checked bag, and you still have a like little backpack carry-on or whatever. That's just built into their pricing. Their basic fare lets you check a bag for free. Wonder how long that'll last though. XLT off to Toronto. Now we have LRD off to Newark, New Jersey. John Hennessy says 242, then the last 3 rows are 232. Mark, thank you very much.
Right. November 2, hold short, right. November 2 and hold short of runway 28 at right, Summer 40.
Ryanair, Sierra Hotel line of runway 28 right.
LRD, obviously been known as the aircraft that had the tail strike in the US last year, all patched up. Ryanair already cleared to go. Ryanair to Amsterdam. Well, Trevor, to be honest with you, we discussed this. I agree with that. If you are given a set of dimensions that your bag must fit into, and you're paying less because it's Ryanair or whatever, if they give you the criteria you have to meet and you decide to play silly with it, but it's your own fault really, isn't it? Like everyone says, oh, Ryanair are terrible like that. Well, Ryanair have made air travel affordable for everyone once you stick within their rules.
Takeoff runway 28 right, Summer 40.
will Aer Lingus get new wide bodies? I think we've discussed this countless times. We'd love to see a 330 Neo, maybe. There was talk that Boeing were making offers in relation to the Dreamliner as well. Aer Lingus heading to Malta. EIDW Rugby. David, Aer Lingus had 8 A350s on order prior to COVID, but obviously COVID came and reduced demand. Those 350s were reallocated within the IAG group. British Airways and Iberia got them. Apparently, the A350 isn't as cost effective for the routes Aer Lingus operate as, say, the 330 or the 330 Neos. About to get a whole lot of Dubai in your picture. Emirates will be our last departure, folks. EI 608 first to Amsterdam. Alan, how do? I don't know whether they'd go with the 787 because the drama over their engines requiring more frequent maintenance might not make it cost effective either. Plus then obviously crew training, familiarisation, etc. But there was talk that they were given a very good offer by Boeing, but I don't know whether that was ever agreed on. Like, it's not as if the IAG group are adverse to Boeing, because they have 25 MAX 8s and MAX 10s on order, likely to go to Vueling. So yes, unfortunately, Benjamin, this is the last departure now. We're going to be ending after the Emirates. Hazel, aircraft movements today are 460. That's arrival and departure. During the summer season, you'll see between 700 and 800, almost double. Thanks, Patricia. EK 162 now, 777-300 ER, heading back to Dubai. The 330 Neo would make the most sense, but remember, they're not making the decision. IAG are, so God knows. You could see 350s going to other carriers within the IAG group, and Aer Lingus being given 330s to maintain here. You wouldn't know. So folks, yeah, next one will probably be Friday. It's meant to be quite busy Friday. 600 or so movements. Can I pump the mic? It's been put away. Sorry. It looked like it was going to rain, and that's not waterproof, so I put it away. Dave C, this time next week we'll be on one of these, heading to Dubai and then Australia. Nice. Hazel, the Neos are basically the aircraft with more efficient engines, new engine option. Try not to break things here. Hang on. And I did. Got my head stuck. So folks, we'll call it there. Again, the plan, we'll be here Friday, whether it be arrivals or departures. Mods, as always, thank you very much. To those that gifted, only tuned in to see bunnies, gutted there was planes and cows. But anyway, thanks folks for being here. Do hit the like button if you haven't for me. And yeah, Friday. Now obviously, if something interesting appears on the schedule in the meantime, I will be here, but we'll aim for Friday. Firewalker, you're most welcome. Ruby, later. Helen, David, Brian, Hazel, Patricia. Right, see you later.